Hello everyone, I wanted to do a quick garden tour outside. Today is August 30th, 2025. Some things are looking kind of tired, like those hostas back there. I'm not sure if those have some kind of like fungus on them, because they did that last year too. They're starting to bloom right now though, so but starting in this little shady edge around the back of the garage here, that's like one of my favorite coleus right there. It's very orange. And then there's hostas and impatiens here. My favorite on the corner here is blooming. This is a hardy hibiscus inner glow, and I love this time of year when the hibiscus are blooming. So tropical, and yet it is a perennial, even up here in zone 5A. Flowers are just huge on these, as big as my hand pretty much. These are Millennium Allium here. They're kind of blooming, but they're kind of getting past their prime there. Those are Vincas down there, Fireball, Marigold there. I think this is Raspberry Double Scoop Echinacea here. Autumn Joy Sedum is getting ready to start turning colors here. Those are Moss Rose down there. So I noticed that I cannot do Instagram live videos anymore, so I'm just doing a regular video. It's probably going to take quite a while to upload onto Instagram, but apparently you have to have over 1,000 followers currently to be able to do live videos on Instagram, so that's kind of disappointing, but this is going to be way better quality anyway. These are double snapdragons, the white and the pink, and then that is a dianthus right there. Unfortunately, the daylilies are done blooming. Geraniums here, butterfly weed is starting to get its seed pods. My beautiful window box here has 3 different types of Tradescantia. This little one's my favorite here, and that's Nanook there. And then these are petunias in there with it. And then we have coneflower, kind of starting to get tired. It's probably about the newest flower on it there, just the regular purple coneflower. Bee balm, there's a bumblebee right there visiting that. That is an annual salvia. African daisies here, the orange. Vinca. This is some sort of hybridized lavender. The vine there, that's a clematis. More daylilies. Russian sage here. These are my favorite tall phlox. They're a coral color, but the name of the variety is something orange. They're very much more of a coral color than orange though. And then more of the beautiful Fireball marigolds here. They start out very red when they're newer flowers, and then kind of age to the orange color. This next area here I call the pill garden because it's shaped like a pill, but kind of getting tired. The geraniums look really good. The peonies are starting to look really tired, starting to kind of turn brown. And then I've got these PG hydrangeas in there, and they're really floppy. Kind of just flopping on everything else. They have really pretty flowers though, as you can see. But yeah, they just kind of flop on everything else in there. The fences that you'll see in some areas are to keep the rabbits out because they eat everything. We have some cosmos. That's a really brown peony right there. I'm kind of thinking about just cutting that part of it off. There's a bunch of snapdragons in here. Not blooming very much right now though. And then my favorite zinnia, this really bright red one. It's like 4 of those in there, like 2 on each side. This one's kind of getting buried underneath the hydrangeas here though. And then just more geraniums on this side. Geraniums look really good yet. And then these planters by the garage are looking a little bit tired. I probably need to go through and cut some out of there to get them to make some more flowers for me, but the other side looks a little bit better. And they might have gotten dried out a couple times a little bit, which kind of has an effect on the flowers as well, but I also just didn't deadhead them for a really long time, so patio area here. I have to show my passion flower vine here. It has a flower on it this time. It didn't on my last tour. Flowers are really crazy on these. They're really cool. They smell really good too. I was kind of hoping this would get more flowers at one time, but it tends to get like 1 or 2. And I haven't really been deadheading it, so it is getting fruits on it. I have no idea in my growing zone if these fruits are going to get ripe before it gets too cold. They feel really light, so I don't know if passion fruits are just really light. But I would like to try eating those if I ever think that they seem like they are ripe, but just the bushes here. Rose bush is probably going to start blooming a little bit again pretty soon here. There's an airplane flying over, it's kind of loud. This is my whiskey barrel planter here. Those are sweet potato vines. There's some little vinca down in there. And then my Tropicana canna, which is absolutely beautiful regardless of if it gets flowers or not. But the canna did just start to bloom a couple days ago. Flowers on those are orange. They are really pretty. But even without the flowers, this plant is just absolutely beautiful with all the stripes. Going down the house here. My favorite coleus here. El Brito coleus. And that is lemon coral, I believe, sedum. underneath that, hydrangea here. And then the whole front is all super petunias. This thing is an obedient plant here, which should start blooming soon. There's a little tall phlox still kind of hanging on in there. It actually bloomed this year. I didn't even know it was still alive. The obedient plant were kind of a replacement for that because it didn't like growing here very well. So yeah, and perennials are kind of tired in the back there. These are Supertunia Vista. Wait, I think I said that wrong. These are bubblegum Supertunia Vista petunias. And then these are Supertunia Jazzberry, the darker colored ones. Let's see. More obedient plant in the back there. I'm forgetting the name of this one. It smells like black licorice. And I cannot for the life of me think of the name of it right now. The bees love that. Love that one. These are a sedum here. Or no, said that wrong again. These are a salvia right here. It was supposed to be an annual, but it's come back every year since about 2020 when I planted it, and it just keeps getting bigger. The only negative thing is it doesn't really flower until late in the year. Like this is the first bloom that it got right here. It's a really pretty, like purple bluish color though. These are a sedum right here. I don't remember the variety of those. And yeah, nothing else too exciting in the back. The oriental lilies have been done for a while. This is an aster right here, which should start blooming dark purple flowers in the somewhat near future. And another sedum down here. The front of the house here doesn't get sun until around 1 o'clock, maybe in the middle of summer. But then it gets really hot because it faces southwest, so it's kind of hard to find, especially perennials that do really well in that area there. But the corner here, I just have some of the like globe arborvitas, like the greenish colored ones. And then this is a red rocket or orange rocket barberry, I believe, in the middle there. And then I've just got around the flagpole here, I haven't not deadheaded this container at all. It's still doing fairly well though. Those petunias are Proven Winners, Orchid Vivid Hoopla, I think. And then I forget the name of the little Calibrachoas here, the orange ones. Pretty though. And just the purple spiky plant in the middle. And some Tridescantia Nanook in a couple spots in there too. Doesn't want to focus. There we go. And then we'll start going around the side of the house here. I also need to do some trimming in the grass all around the petunias. They're kind of climbing out in there, so I just mowed around them when I mowed the lawn. So this area, I kind of want to take out this arborvita. I just don't think it gets enough sun here, so it looks crummy and spindly, and I just don't really know what I'd want to put in there though. These are Gaillardia or blanket flower. Those have finally started blooming. I haven't really done a whole lot this year, but... And then this is my perennials here. We have lungwort, curly fries hosta, brunnera, and a lot of those flowered like back in spring, so now they're just foliage. These are bush honeysuckles that are getting huge and kind of taking over the area. Probably need to trim those. There's some more super petunias in here. And then this lamium went crazy. Lamium and sweet potato vines, and those are both actually climbing up the azalea. You can't even really see the azalea under there. It is starting to make blooms for next year, I see though. But yeah, the leaves on that green sweet potato vine got just huge. There's one on either side there, and then the purple one in the middle. And the green one on this side is climbing all the way around this bush, all the way over to here, and then it got even bigger leaves over here. They're just huge. Like as big as my hand almost, or pretty much. And then on the other side there's some grasses. The kind of weeping one is Japanese forest grass. That's my favorite. It's so pretty. Has little seeds on it. Lavender, hybrid lavender, hardy geranium that's kind of done blooming. And then Russian sage is the taller purple there. Veronica, the other darker purple. And then on the corner is my very favorite, my red hardy hibiscus. Hibiscus, trying to think of the name. Midnight Marble. It's a very bright red one. Then we have, trying to think of names here, the Silver Mound, and then super petunias around that. This is my shadiest shade garden area in back here, and it's very colorful this year. It has coleus, impatiens, and my caladiums here. The caladiums are looking really good. They're all planted in pots to kind of make them taller so they don't get buried back there. Really pretty. There's some hostas in there, iris, begonia right there. The lemon coral sedum down in there. And as usual, I can't think of the name. Oh, Sun King Aurelia is the kind of yellowy plant there. More coleus, hostas. This is a Japanese painted fern, which is really pretty. Really like that. These are kind of my favorite coleus here. Well, it's probably the third time I've said that. These are one of my favorite coleus here. They're kind of orangey colored. Ligularia is not doing very well. It should be blooming around this time of year, I think, but it's not. I think the name of this hosta is Rainforest Sunrise or Sunset. Begonia there. This is the Rainbow's End hosta right here. Probably my favorite hosta. That variegation is just awesome on that. And then this is a red lightning heuchera here, or coral bells, some people call that. And then got the huge Incredible hydrangea here. It's kind of falling all over the place. These kind of baby's breath looking things are a euphorbia, and then there are alyssum planted to either side of that. And a couple supertunias in there too. The plant on the right is a Persian shield here. And then the taller container has sweet potato vine. This is a chocolate covered cherry coleus. One of those kind of orange coleus in the back, and then double impatiens. They're like this really soft shade of pink. And then my other container here has another really splashy patterned coleus, the orange flowering begonia, and then a begonia escargot here, which is very cool. The coleus got huge in there. And then we just have the back patio here. I have my outside aglaonemas here, and for some reason the squirrels want to keep digging in those. But we have red siam, which the squirrels really like to dig in. Sparkling Sarah, and then this newer one is my pink siam. And I don't think it's liked. I just kind of threw it out here straight from the store, and it either hasn't liked the level of sun or how cool our nights have been getting, so I think it's gonna lose some leaves there. They're getting kind of funny looking, but those will definitely come indoors once winter comes, as well as the two ficus behind it there. Probably overwinter the ficus in the basement with the grow light as usual. This is my tiny little anthurium fingers here, and it was just a stump in my cabinet in the house, and it took until later in the summer, but it has finally started getting some leaves. I think that one's even kind of trying to get the finger shapes to it. And then just my big planter that I crammed full of all sorts of things here. This is another one of those African daisies here. It's really pretty. Like little mini petunias there. A Dracaena. Forgetting the name of these, but they're pretty. It has a twister grass in there that's kind of getting absorbed by all the other plants in a way, but Tradescantia right there. Forget the name of the white things. Scabola, I think. And then this really pretty double petunia that is red. And this coleus here is called fishnet stockings. It's also really pretty. And around over here, so we have like a scented geranium or citronella here. The blooms are really pretty on that. Sweet potato vine in there, and I think cupia, stuff that looks like little lanterns, kind of. Lantana on the end here. And then this is my favorite caladium here, Burning Hearts. It's very bright red. That's a pineapple sage back there that's getting really huge. Another citronella here, variegated one. Coleus, sun patiens in the bottom of that one. My orange vinca, that's one of my favorite vinca. And then just some dusty millers behind there. And then the big planter has a coleus, two really cool vinca. The one is really dark colored, and the other one is these tiny little purple flowers here. There's a Hedera helix in there, Dichondra silver falls going all the way down the side there. And then it has asparagus fern in the back, some of the regular Tradescantia there that I grew from cuttings last year and stuck in there in spring. Oh, and then double snapdragons on this side as well, and a big spider web. So yeah, that's how the garden is looking at the end of August here. It's kind of hard to believe that things will be wrapping up in about a month here, and I'll have to bring these tropical plants inside for the year, but not looking forward to that. I hate winter here in Minnesota. But yeah, so that should be everything in the garden. Have a great day, everyone.